Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Our research is entitled Wealth Circulation in Islamic Economics, a conceptual framework for equitable economic distribution. Today, our presentation consists of 6 sections: Introduction, Literature Review, Conceptual Framework, Research Methodology, Results and Discussion, and lastly, Conclusion and Recommendation. Let me begin with the introduction. This study focuses on wealth circulation in Islamic economics, unlike the conventional economic system, which mainly focus on economic growth and wealth accumulation. Islamic economics emphasize justice, fairness, and the proper distribution of wealth among society. This issue is important in Malaysia because income inequality still exists. Although the country continues to develop, there are still gaps between different income groups. Therefore, Islamic economic instruments such as zakat, wakaf, and Islamic finance can help create a more balanced distribution of wealth. The main objective of this study is to propose a conceptual framework called the Wealth Circulation Framework, or WCF, which explains how Islamic economic instruments can work together to achieve equitable wealth distribution. That concludes the introduction section.
Now continue with section 2.0. This section discusses the main factors that influence wealth circulation in Islamic economy. Firstly, let us discuss zakat. Zakat is compulsory redistribution mechanism in Islam. It helps transfer wealth from those who have more resources to those who are in need. Previous studies showed that zakat is effective in reducing poverty. However, many zakat programs only cover short-term assistance. Therefore, productive zakat such as business capital and entrepreneurship capital is recommended to create long-term benefits. Next, I will discuss wakaf. Wakaf is voluntary charitable instrument that provides continuous benefit to society. Examples include wakaf land, school, hospital, and business projects. Wakaf can support long-term economic development, but its success depends on good management and public trust. The third component is Islamic finance. Islamic finance promotes ethical financial activity and avoids riba and gharar. It ensures sharing and supports financial inclusion. However, Islamic finance alone cannot achieve equitable distribution without support from zakat and wakaf. Another important factor is institutional quality. Institutional quality refers to transparent, accountability, efficient, and public trust. Strong institutions can improve the effectiveness of zakat, wakaf, and Islamic finance. Weak governments, on the other hand, can reduce their impact. Finally, let us discuss equitable wealth distribution. In Islamic economics, equitable distribution does not mean everyone receives the same amount of wealth. Instead, it means everyone has a fair opportunity to improve their quality of life and meet their basic needs. However, the research show that these factors are important in promoting social justice and reducing inequality. That's all from me. Thank you.
I will now present section 3.0, the conceptual framework. The proposed framework is called the Wealth Circulation Framework, or WCF. First, let us look at the variables included in the framework. There are 4 independent variables. They are zakat, wakaf, Islamic finance, and institutional quality. This variable influence one dependent variable, which is equitable wealth distribution. Based on this variable, several hypotheses are proposed. For example, better integration between zakat, wakaf, and Islamic finance is expected to reduce wealth concentration. In addition, higher institutional quality is expected to strengthen the effectiveness of zakat in reducing poverty. To better understand the relationship among these variables, the conceptual framework is presented in the diagram. The framework shows that wealth distribution can be improved when all 4 factors work together effectively. In summary, the wealth circulation framework explains how Islamic economic instruments contribute to a fair economic system. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, I will present research methodology. This study used a qualitative research design based on library research. Firstly, the researchers review journal articles, books, and academic sources related to Islamic economics and wealth distribution. Next, the data collection process involved 4 stages. The first stage was authenticity assessment, which checked whether the information and evidence were valid. The second stage was credibility assessment, which evaluates the expertise of the author and the reliability of publication sources. The third stage was contextual relevance analysis to determine whether the findings were suitable for the Malaysian context. And the final stage was comparative evaluation, where different views and findings were compared to identify the strongest argument. For data analysis, the study used both deductive and inductive approaches. The deductive approaches examine the findings based on Islamic economic principles, while the inductive approach identifies common themes and research gaps from the literature. Overall, the methodology ensures that the framework is developed using reliable and relevant sources. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So next, I will present 5.0, which is about the result and discussion. So based on this study, the findings show that the Youth Circulation Framework, or WCF, is an effective framework for explaining how Islamic economic instrument can promote a more equitability distribution of wealth in Malaysia. So the result indicate that zakat plays an important role in reducing poverty by transferring resources from the wealth to those in debt. However, productive zakat such as business capital assistance and entrepreneurship support is found to create more sustainable long-term benefit compared to the short-term financial aid. In addition, Wakaf contributes to wealth circulation through productive assets such as land, educational, institutional, healthcare facilities, and commercial projects. So, however, its effective depends on good governance and transparent management. So, the study also highlights the role of the Islamic finance in promoting activities through the prohibition of riba and gharar. So, nevertheless, Islamic finance can contribute more effectively to wealth distribution when it is integrated with social redistribution mechanisms such as zakat and wakaf. Finally, institutional quality is identified as the key factor influence the success of all wealth circulation tools. Transparency, accountability, efficiency, and public trust are essential for achieve the wealth of circulation. So in conclusion, equitability wealth distribution can only be achieved when zakat, wakaf, Islamic finance, and strong institutions work together in supporting the objective of Maqasid al-Sharia. That's all for me. Thank you. So that's all from us. Thank you for watching. Thank you. So that's all from us. Thank you for watching.